And the Christmas season has officially started, so it's time to get a move on and get shaken because we've got a lot to get ready for Christmas. And yes, I still have some Christmas magic up my sleeve. And who am I? Well, you know me as none other than Indiana Jones. So let's get inspired. Today's video is part of a challenge called Duping Through the Holidays, hosted by Brandi, the DIY struggle. Myself and all these lovely, talented, crafty ladies got together and took a look at what we liked on Pinterest to see what inspired us for our creations today. Now, listen carefully because this video is part of a giveaway, so please remember to visit all of these channels, listen to their secret word, and make sure you enter so that Santa Claus might come your way. Now, let's get started. Now, there's nothing I love more than a vintage Christmas, and I've always loved these vintage Christmas pins and buttons that are placed in a frame. And I wanted to recreate it, but I didn't want to make it so garish, so I decided to make a wreath. And here I'm just taking one of those Dollar Tree plastic frames, and I'm gonna try to antique it up a little bit with some Plaid folk art gold paint. And I love this gold paint. If you've never used it, it's a little pricey, but it does go a long way, and it does do such a beautiful job at lifting something up that was made out of plastic and making it look so much richer, so much more stylish. Now, in the inspiration picture, I believe they had a black velvet background, but I wanted to use this dark velvet blue that I had. I just had a few scraps of this fabric lying around the house. And I guess my inspiration is blue Christmas. Blue has become a very fashionable color this year, this dark navy blue. It's very rich and very vintage looking. So all I'm doing here is I'm going to be gluing the fabric to the actual backing of this frame, or it was a mirror actually when I bought it. And I'm going to leave some space in between the fabric and the actual cardboard because I'm going to stuff that with a little bit of stuffing, obviously. So the other reason I picked blue or blue Christmas is not just because it's fashionable, but I just wanted to make sure that, you know, it's a very tough time because you're supposed to be happy during the holiday season, or you feel like you should be happy. You're very blessed. But for me, in my case, I've had some difficulties this year, as you know, and lost a very special and important person in my life. And it's not that it's been my first blue Christmas, but I think it's, you know, because it was my mom and she was so integral to my life and the life of my kids that losing her this year has made the holidays a little more difficult. So if you're going through something similar, I completely understand. And it's hard to get into the holiday spirit. Believe me, it's been very difficult for me to get into the crafting spirit sometimes. But I always imagine that she's still watching me from afar. So that's why my secret word for today, or my code word for today, is blue Christmas. So here I've finished stuffing that velvet, and now I'm going to attach it to the frame, which looks so much better now with that gold. And I didn't overdo the gold either. I just wanted to lightly brush upon it. And here I am just securing that backing with the velvet to my frame. And then when I turn it over, I can start designing my little wreath for the front. And again, I could have done the Christmas tree, but I wanted to do something different. And I also really didn't have time to look for a lot of jewelry. So I have some items from Totally Dazzling, because it's totally dazzling, totally dazzled. And I also had some old jewelry that was broken up. So I decided to use that. And here all I am doing is I created a little wreath, a wire wreath, with this wire from the Dollar Tree, which has these cute little pearls. And I am just, winding around this beautiful gold chain with pearls around this wreath. And I really did want to keep it simple. I didn't want to make it too gaudy. I had enough stuff to make it gaudy, believe me, but for now I just wanted to keep it into a simple wreath. And now I'm just adding some more embellishments. I'm adding some pink pearls just to have a little bit of a contrast against the blue velvet, as well as the white pearls that I always have in my stock. You know, you always wonder, you know, am I a hoarder? Am I keeping too much stuff? But when you turn around and you say, oh, you know what, I can add this or I can add that, it really justifies your craft hoarding habits, right? So here I am just adding all of these cute embellishments, and here is this beautiful gold pearl bow that I had received from Totally Dazzled. And I think that's all this wreath really needs. That's why I wanted to really make sure that this was, you know, a cute little wreath without being too gaudy. And again, that setting is just so perfect. I didn't want it to get lost with a whole bunch of other like costume jewelry or anything. And I think it just looks so lovely with that velvet blue background. And here I am just trying to settle in and see where it's going to be best placed. Now you can sew it in or you can glue it in, and all I'm doing here is gluing it in. And that's it. This was my first video doing this, and I really love the way it turned out. I think it just adds such a vintage European flair. I hope you try this yourself. My second inspiration is this beautiful bejeweled Victorian vintage looking Christmas tree, and mine won't be as bejeweled because again I want to focus on the blue velvet that's there. And all I'm going to use is of course that wonderful crystal taper candle holder and one of these styrofoam cones from the Dollar Tree, and again using that scrap blue velvet material that I had just lying around. Always good to have some beautiful, you know, luxurious fabric around the house. And there I am, I just glued it together, and all I'm going to do now is I'm going to set it upon the candlestick. And I could have changed it, but when I looked at the inspiration, because I was thinking, oh, maybe I should paint it gold, and then I looked at the inspiration picture again and I realized, oh, they left it like glass. So that's what I'm going to do, make things simple for myself. And again, I'm going to be using the chain that I had left over from the previous craft, and I'm going to embellish my blue Christmas tree with this. And again, talking about blue Christmas, and I'm sorry if I bring everyone down, but there are a lot of people that suffer through the holiday blues. So you might take a look around and see who's out there in your proximity of your life that might be spending Christmas alone this year. Maybe they lost a loved one. Maybe they're far away from their families. Maybe their children can't come home from college or what have you. But take a look around and make sure that you notice the people that might be having a blue Christmas this year. It's really tough when you see everyone having, you know, all this wonderful parties and joyfulness, and you feel a little left out. So, you know, just take a step back and see who's having a blue Christmas this year. I hope you're not having a blue Christmas, and if you are, please also reach out to people and say, hey, you know what, I'm having a tough time. You mind if we hang out together, or can we spend some time together? I'm sure that they would be more than happy to be there for you as well. So don't spend blue Christmas by yourself. Oh, by the way, what am I doing here? I'm adding more embellishments with pearls and gold baubles. Maybe I should have added a whole bunch, but I like to keep it a little simple. Now, I went off the deep end. I don't know if I really like it, but I had these beautiful metallic roses, and yeah, they were like pink, but they weren't like light pink like the pearls were. They're kind of like a deeper pink. But I like the way it came out. And there I had another corresponding bow that matches the wreath, and that's going to be my topper for my little vintage velvet Christmas tree. And there you have it. I like the way it turned out, even though it's not, you know, doesn't have a lot of baubles on it, and it's not too heavy with you know, pins and stuff, but I still like the way it turned out. I hope you do too. This is a reminder that this video is part of Duping Through the Holidays. All these lovely women have been crafting and were inspired by Pinterest ideas. So please make sure to visit their channels and comment down below with my secret word, which is Blue Christmas and the secret word for each of these individuals in their own video comments. We really appreciate you taking the time to visit all of these channels. And you'll also be entered to win a gift for this Christmas. My last inspiration was this blue and white wreath, although I took a different look at it. Now, what I did here was I took apart one of those white Christmas trees. I actually took apart 2 Dollar Tree white Christmas trees, and I'm using a white pool noodle, right? So what I decided to do is I have this beautiful round mirror that I found in the garbage not too long ago, and I had decorated it for fall, and now I wanted to do the same for Christmas. And it was a gold mirror, so I'm going to be using white, blue, and gold for this decor. And I could have just joined the 2 Christmas trees together, but I didn't want to glue my embellishment to the mirror directly, obviously, and it looked kind of difficult to just use the 2 trees to try to attach it somehow. So I decided what I did was I slit the back of this pool noodle, and that's going to fit over the mirror perfectly because it has a little ridge that's like 2 inches wide, a 2-inch wide frame. So this will fit right on top of the frame. Now, I've tried not to speed up too much of my video, but I thought this would be boring of you watching me putting together all of these branches. But basically that's all I did was cut out all these branches and just add them to the pool noodle. Now, again, you can use this for swag. You can use this for creating your own wreath. These pool noodles are very versatile. So, you know, and it's perfect because it's a sponge. So, I mean, not a sponge, but it's foam. So you can just poke into the foam with the different branches and the different embellishments. So here I am. That's all I'm doing is taking the branches and putting them in one by one. Now I'm leaving space in the middle because that's where I'm going to put my bow. So why waste branches in the middle? Now I had these beautiful navy blue roses left over from the fall. I actually bought these in the fall. And I thought I would add a little bit more, I don't know, oomph to them by just dry brushing them with a little bit of gold. Again, this is the folk art gold paint that I used before. And actually, no, it's not the same folk art, but it is folk art gold paint. And I just thought it would add a little, I didn't want to add sparkle per se, but I did want to add a little something just to embellish these roses and have them pop out a little more and just capture the light in that gold. Now I was able to find these lovely gold poinsettias. Poinsettias? 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 Poinsettia, 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 poinsettia. How do you say it? How do you say poinsettia or poinsettia? I don't know. All my life now I'm thinking about that. Do you think about that? How do you say that? Word poinsettia, poinsettia. I gotta ask Google. I gotta ask Alexis. Anyway, so here I am. Okay, let's get back to the craft, Annie. Forget it. Roses. Roses are easier. So there you can see the gold-tipped roses and the gold poinsettias. And I'm just adding now these little blue balls. Oh, geez. Yes, I said it. Oh, my gosh. Those navy balls that I'm adding to the trees. And I don't have ribbon in blue, but I have this beautiful sparkly fabric that I actually made myself an evening dress out of this beautiful fabric, and I had some remnants left over. So I decided, hey, I'll make myself a bow out of that because I'm not going to go out and spend more money. I just refuse. No. We got to watch our money during this time, you know. Can't go into debt. Hi, Kitty. There's Tiger saying hello. And yeah, so here I am making this big blue bow to go in the middle. But I'm also going to embellish it with this lovely, it's like a beigey kind of, I don't know, it's golden, but it's like, how can I say, it's burlap golden ribbon. There you go, burlap golden ribbon. And just add, you know, embellishments with blue and gold to the center bow. I found some more leftover gold ribbon, lucky for me. And it's like a mesh type of material. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect. So I'm just pinning it in, literally pinning it in with some wire. Because again, I'm using that foam from the noodle, the pool noodles, man. So many things you can do with pool noodles. And I'm just cutting this down. There you go. Just to like spike it into the pool noodle. And that's adding more embellishments, of course, around the main bow. And here I am finishing up my, I guess my intertwining of this golden ribbon. And let's take a last look at everything I created today. I hope this inspired you. I hope you look at navy blue as another option for your coloring of your Christmas decor this year. Thank you again for stopping by and for visiting me, and I hope you're having a bright and happy Christmas, and if not, it's okay to be blue too. As I always say, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure. See you again very soon, my friends.